Good day, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about the school-based management system of public schools. The COVID-19 pandemic brought the educational system a new setting and made an abrupt change, but then the Department of Education is constantly prepared to whatever plans to ensure the effective delivery of the K-12 curriculum. SBM leads to improved school performance in its policy to expand education by relocating significant decision-making influence from state and district offices to individual schools. Through the school-based management, teachers and school heads have the authority to formulate their own professional development plans consistent with the organization's goals and standards. And to gain the many advantages of an SBM accredited school, teachers need a high level of collaboration and engagement in the evaluation process when artifacts were strategically used. Evaluators use both observations and artifacts as evidence. The artifacts show how the school is meeting goals and standards. They allow teachers to communicate aspects of their practice that are not always apparent during observations. Before I continue my discussion, here are the objectives of today's session. The first one is to describe school-based management system in public schools, then discuss the curriculum and learning principle of the school-based management, and the last one is to cite best practices of accredited schools and utilize them for continuous improvement of schools. To clearly define what really is school-based management or SBM, SBM is a form of decentralization that identifies the individual school as the primary unit of improvement and relies on the redistribution of decision-making authority to the school level as the primary means throughout which improvements might be stimulated and sustained. School-based management also provides principals, teachers, students, and parents greater control over the education process by giving them responsibility for decisions about budget, personnel, and curriculum. But why do schools in public engage in school-based management? School-based management determines the level of SBM practices in school. SBM also provides basis on which to establish its plan of action. It also improves the SBM support systems through interventions that the school and the other admin levels of Department of Education. And lastly, it determines effectiveness of the SBM practices and the delivery of the basic education services. This time, let's determine the scope of the school-based management. It is composed of four principles on areas of leadership and governance, curriculum and learning, accountability and continuous improvement, and management of resources. In this report, we will just focus on the principle of curriculum and learning of school-based management. The learning systems collaboratively developed and continuously improved, anchored on the community and learners' context and aspirations. The curriculum provides for the development of all types of learners in the school community. The implemented curriculum is localized to make it more meaningful to the learners and applicable to the life and the community. Appropriate assessment tools for teaching and learning are continuously reviewed and improved. Assessment results are contextualized to the learner's local situation and the attainment of relevant skills. Learning managers and facilitators such as teachers, administrators, and community members nurture values and environment that are protective of all children and demonstrate behaviors consistent with the organization's mission, vision, and goals. But why is there a need to assess curriculum and learning practices? Curriculum evaluation is a necessary and important aspect of any national education system. It provides the basis for curriculum policy decisions, for feedback on continuous curriculum adjustment, and processes of curriculum implementation. Now let's talk about how curriculum and learning is being evaluated in school-based management. Curriculum and learning principle is 30% of the 4 SBM areas. It has 7 indicators, and based on the results of the DOD or the Document Analysis Observation and Discussion, evidence is being summarized and arrived at the consensus on the rating that will be given. Let's take a look at the evaluation tool of the curriculum and learning principle. Just like what I have said, it has 7 indicators. The first column is where all the indicators are listed. The following columns show the level of practice for each of the levels specifies the mode of verification or evidence. For example, in level number 1, the following evidence are enrollment data by the type of learners, assessment tools and database of assessment results such as diagnostic tools, MPAT or SPED, ECD checklist, reading inventory, numeracy, language mapping. Report on the analysis of assessment results. In level number 2, there is a need of intervention action plans, M&E reports, accomplishment, documentation reports on implementation of initiated programs, activities, and projects, documentation report of LAC sessions, intervention reports, for example, SEAM action plan, best practice, school rewards and awards program, and instructional monitoring report, anecdotal report, other proofs of monitoring. In level number 3, there is a need of the following: the results of academic contest, award, certificates of commendation received, school paper, website, PLNs, and other means to showcase best practices, report of participation of students in teachers and activities outside the school, and the documentation that the school has been benchmarked, for example, lab book, letter of appreciation, etc. I actually forgot to mention the other evidence under indicator number 1 as shown above, but the indicator number 2 is just about how the implemented curriculum is localized to make it more meaningful to the learners and applicable to life and community. In the level 1 of indicator number 2, the mode of verifications are documentation report, certificates of participation in workshops to localize the curriculum, localize or local heritage matrix, contextualize curriculum matrix per learning area, inventory of localized and indigenized teaching and learning materials, organized school-level learning resource evaluators, evaluation tools for localized learning resources. Level number 2, record of utilization, downloaded materials from the LR portal, record of quality assured locally developed LRs utilized at the school, district, division level. Functional School Library, LRC, Mobile Library, Library Corner, Classroom Mini Libraries, and Monitoring Report of Implementation of Localized Curriculum. And in the Level 3, there is a need of records of locally developed LRs published in the LR portal, printed, published, or widely circulated, and report record of community engagement, program extension services, and immersion in communities. Indicator number 3 is about a representative group of school community stakeholders developed methods and materials for developing creative thinking and problem solving. Level number 1, the following mode of verifications are being asked. Number 1 is the composition of a school project team with terms of reference, a learning resource needs assessment, and a summary of assessment results. There is also a need of the presence of develop, redevelop learning resources with evidence of utilization in level number 2, and evidence of instruction and catch-up mechanisms and evaluation of and validation results for learning resources. In the level number 3, there is a need of the following evidences. The project implementation report showing attainment of expected output or outputs, and then certification that innovations were adopted, utilized in school and community. Indicator number 4 is the learning systems are regularly and collaboratively monitored by the community using appropriate tools to ensure the holistic growth and development of learners and community. In level number 1, there is a need of the following mode of verification, such as the documentation of school assemblies and meetings, state of the school address or SOSA, update school report card or SRC, all school form 9 or that's the report cards that are being signed by the parents, and learners profile with anecdotal records. In level number 2, there is a need of the formulated school policy guidelines on learner development activities and presented communicated SRCs to stakeholders. And To be able to have or to be in the level number 3 of indicator 4, LGU and community resolutions, ordinance supporting the activities for total development of learners is needed. And of course, there is also a need of the manual or handbook on learning and monitoring system that is available. Indicator 5 is actually the appropriate assessment tools for teaching and learning and continuously reviewed and improved assessment results that are contextualized to the learner and local situation and the attainment of relevant life skills. So these are the different artifacts or mode of verification being asked on the different level from level 1, level 2, and level 3. In level 1, for example, there is a need of the creation of assessment review team with terms of reference, evidence of reviewed assessment tool or tools on written work, and evidence of review assessment tool on performance tasks, and evidence of reviewed tools on quarterly exam. In level 2, there is a need of documentation of the review of the assessment tool. There is also a need of the evidences of modification of assessment tool and assessment results that are conveyed to the stakeholders through assemblies or meetings. And in level number 3, there is a need, of course, of documents on the learning programs, activities developed as a result of assessment. Indicator 6 is about learning managers and facilitators, teachers, administrators, and community members. Nurture values and environment that are protective of all children and demonstrate behaviors consistent with the organization's vision, mission, and goals. And level number 1, there is a need of a school to have the school advocacy program on child protection related concern, at least wins 1-star awardee, and then Brigada Escuela Best Implementer Division level. In level number 2, at least 2-star in Washing School program, and there is a need of a statement of support from stakeholders in relation to the school advocacy program. And then Brigada Escuela Best Implementer at least regional level. In level number 3, at least the school has 3-star rating in the Washing School program, and outstanding child-friendly school system rating, and best Brigada Escuela implementer in the national level. The last indicator of curriculum and learning is the methods and resources that are learner and community friendly, enjoyable, safe, inclusive, accessible, and aimed at developing self-directed learners. Learners are equipped with essential knowledge, skills, and values to assume responsibility and accountability for their own learning. So these are the different mode of verifications being asked on the different levels. In level number 1, there is a need of workbooks, activity sheets, modules, documentation of student-led learning activities, and approved student-initiated activities. In level number 2, there is a need of student-initiated community programs, community-sponsored program or activities, tutorial or narrative. And then level number 3 is about the benchmarking of best practices in line with developing self-directed learners, evident in the home and community. Now, just before I end my report on school-based management, the curriculum and learning principle, let me just know your thought on this question. At present, what are the best school-based management strategies that you can share from your school? For the insights of my report, school-based management must have the strong support of school staff. School-based management is more successful if it is implemented gradually. It may take 5 years or more to implement school-based management. School and district staff must be given administrative training, but also must learn how to adjust to new roles and channels of communication. Financial support must be provided to make training and time for regular staff meetings available. Central office administrators must transfer authority to principals, and principals in turn must share this authority with teachers and parents.